All right, guys, Shotty T here. We are officially in season 4. So we're just going to do a brief overview of season 4 and some of the objectives. Of course, as we go deeper into the season, there's going to be more stuff that's going to unlock more objectives. But first things first, let's go to this tab here. So now you see that we have Evernight Owl, and I'm gonna try to do some parallels to where some of you guys are in season 1, season 2, and season 3 when I talk about this. So first thing that you want to do when you enter a new season is to go to that very top tab here, and you always want to click on these here because there are always going to be objectives as a server that you want to do. So as you can see, I've already did my donations here for the Opto Electronic Lab and the Quartz Workshop, as well as the Alliance Center. These are going to be three of the more mainstay key buildings that you're going to have throughout the uh, the season, similar to the previous season with the Virus Research Lab, the Fountain in season 3, and forgot what the furnace in season 2. So all that stuff is gonna it'll be stuff that'll be in this type of tab here. So when enough people donate, then you'll unlock those season buildings for the lab. You'll unlock that here, and you'll also unlock your very first quartz workshop. So as you can see, I mean, like I said, when you enter a new season, you try to be on a tight schedule. So I had to set a couple of alarms to make sure I'm optimal upgrading stuff as much as possible while not compromising too much sleep. Because I think I'm about to start working in about less than an hour or so, but 2 hours in, I'll be able to upgrade this to level 8 because just like before, the objective is to build as much resistance as possible to be able to take on the zombies. And ultimately, as you go deeper into the map, there's going to be obstacles that's going to come in the way that's going to require the resistance. So when you get these quartz workshop, the idea here is that you want to upgrade each of them to level 15. Because once you do that, another one will unlock. And then once you get that to level 15, another one will unlock. You get that to level 15, another one unlock. And right now, this is currently on level 6. Now, this particular building is an optional one. This is a weekly pass. I choose to do that. I think it's $4.99 a week. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it every week for the season, just early on as I'm building up my resistance. Because once it gets to a certain point, you don't really need the weekly pass anymore. And then the protectors are back. So just like that building, they did have it for the protectors. Now, we'll probably have a separate video to talk about the protectors in a little bit more detail because it's not as important right now, but you do want to accumulate them throughout, and they're definitely going to have their uses. So this thing right here, so this is different to all the seasons. This is a lighthouse, as you can see. So, and in order for you to turn it on, you first have to turn on these generators. And to turn on these generators, you have to kill zombies. So, and it doesn't matter, just kill them, get first bloods. And if you could just kill multiple versions of the same one, it doesn't matter if they're first bloods or not. Ideally, if you want to optimize your use, make sure that they're first blood kills and then use them. And you'll click on it and activate that one and click on and activate here. And what this does, this allows you, this is kind of similar to season 2 where you have that furnace that you activate. And when you have the furnace on, you keep your temperature up in the season 2. With here, you keep your power up, and also it allows you to have slightly more resistance. So these are the benefits of having a lighthouse. You gain light virus resistance plus 50. Also, it does some brightness in a certain range depending on your lighthouse level. And then also it dispels darkness, making the targets within the range unaffected by darkness, because when zombies and other monsters are in the dark, they actually are more powerful. So, and I'm gonna talk more about that shortly here. So as you increase your lighthouse level, it goes even higher. But as you can see, I don't have enough power to keep this on constantly. But it does increase the virus resistance by an extra 100 because it was at 50. Now it's at plus 150. So that's a 100 net gain. You get more radius for the illumination, and it's the same darkness dispel. But I'm just gonna go back here because right now I have a net gain because it gets full at 200K with this. So we're just gonna go back to this. Oh, I gotta wait after 30 seconds before I do that. But you do get milestones by keeping the lighthouse active. And this is similar to a lot of other season objectives. Make sure you're going to your goals. As you get more milestones, you get more of the season building materials that you need. And of course, you get the season character that's going to be legendary, their version of the shards. And as you further go down, you get set reset skills, you get skill points. So you get a lot of good stuff that are season specific. And then this is the most important one, the conversion badge from epic to legendary. And as you can see, you start to get 20 versions of her and even more. So you want to try to keep this lighthouse on as much as possible. And I'll probably do a separate video in the lighthouse in general, but I'm going to make sure I turn this back down so I don't overpower myself here. Okay, so now we're back to normal. So just like before, make sure that you're doing first bloods of zombies. The difference between this season and the other season is that when you're doing the individual zombies, you don't have to do the first blood of every type. You could just do whichever one that your top team can counter the best. So as you can see, my top team is aircraft. So the zombie that I'm going after is a tank version. But if you need it, if your top team is tank, then you can just choose the missile version. And these are kind of like the graphics, so they're cool looking zombies there. But this is the one that I'm targeting. So you just have to do one first blood, because if you do a level 1 for this and you try to do a level 1 for this, you're not getting anything extra out of that. So just make sure you use your stamina wisely on that part. And then as far as the Doom Elites go, same thing. First blood, you go in order. And sometimes you'll have people in your alliance that are ahead of the curve resistance wise. We have one particular that's definitely ahead of the curve in our alliance. I don't even know how much sleep he's gotten, but he literally is optimizing his time the most. So he's going to be huge. But every time you get a first blood kill on the Doom Elites, that's when you get more of the season building material. And you kind of use some mathematics to give yourself an idea of how much you're going to need to upgrade the next building. So right now, if I combine the output per hour, that's about 11,000. And so each of these level 15 is about 11,000. And then this one right here is at 5. And so that's another 10,000. So it's about 40,000 output per hour. So that means in order for me to get this to level 8 in an hour, it'll be at 162,000. So basically like an hour and a half roughly. So again, you try to set these mini alarms. You're literally quick logging in, upgrade the building, see if you can take on another zombie while while your resistance is upgraded, and then you go from there. But here's how you can do a little bit more attack. So I purposely saved this zombie to show you guys the difference with the light thing, but I'm going to show you. Normally I do not recommend, I don't recommend just killing troops for no reason. But the thing about this season, if you kill troops, they become protectors. So a certain percentage of them do at least. So I'm just going to show you the difference between the lighthouse. I'm going to do this here. So what I've done with my lighthouse generators, I've sent them to other teammates. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take them off one of the teammates here. All right, we're going to take this off of Mojo. So we're going to take that Mojo away from you real quick. And we're going to put them back on ours. And the reason why I'm doing this is because when you actually attack a zombie, it gives you an option here to illuminate your path to battle. And what this does, it makes them slightly weaker because right now he's in the dark. And as you can see, if you click on here, the zombie is enhanced by darkness state. So that's extra attack that they have with that. But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to illuminate the path to battle. And now that means he no longer has that extra advantage. And that could be the difference between, that's the difference between taking down a zombie and not taking down a zombie. All right, well, actually, we still missed it. So what that just tells me I'm gonna have to put this back to level 2 because I think this guy can be taken down if I got him to level 2. So all we'll do is just illuminate the path again. All right. Now sometimes it may not make a difference. You might just have to wait until your next building upgrade, your next resistance upgrade, in order to do so. But it just kind of shows you what you can do. And there you go. I had to take it to level 2 in order to get that done. So we're going to take that back. So I know for a fact I cannot do level 13, level 15 at the moment. But you do, the purpose of that is that you can increase your rating here in the purge action. Like some pretty low. So like you got some people that are way up here, that are way ahead of the curve, but I'm not bad. 138 is not terrible. So, but I'm just gonna make sure that I get my power back. I got 7 seconds left, so we're just gonna just wait it out here while we're here. All right, so there we go. So now I can get my power back to max. So another thing that every season has in common is that the plots define the mines that you can fill are elevated up to level 12 now, because before by default they go as high as level 10, and usually all the 11s and 12s are in the contaminated area. You might have some that are right outside the contaminated area like here. So you definitely want to take advantage of days like today where it's day 1 versus where you're gathering. And also when you're doing your preparation on Sundays is that you want to make sure that you are now accounting for the time that it takes to do a level 12 and to have all your stamina, all your stuff that you have to do for a Sunday out of the way. So that way you can get as much of a even further head start getting all these 12s out of the way going into that there. So with that first blood kill, let's see. I don't think that unlocks any other building that I can upgrade. I think this is the closest one I could upgrade. Yeah, I still need 5,000 more. Every once in a while, you want to check your inventory just in case you got random. Yep. So when I upgraded that lighthouse, I got some more stones. So that's just enough to upgrade this. So yeah, so we got that to level. So that just increased the output slightly. That decreases the time that it takes to upgrade this building. So again, every time that you kill a new first blood, you want to make sure that you make sure that you upgrade the building. And I believe I don't know if I just had a dream about this, but I believe you get 2 first blood zombie kills. I did my first blood, like the Doom Walker I mean. I think I did that last night. I know I did it last night and got the first blood kill, but I don't know, for some reason I was thinking that you get a second first blood kill, but that could have just been a dream. Like it was all a dream. All right, but let's just double check to make sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you only get 1 first blood kill. Like I said, I was imagining things. But again, challenge yourself as high as possible because the higher the first blood kill, the higher the resources, because you do get those season specific resources when you do those first blood kills. So take advantage of that every day. So the stuff that you're doing on a daily basis is that you're doing your first bloods. You want to try to get to that next zombie level and that next Doom Elite level as soon as possible. Upgrading your buildings timely, using an alarm if necessary. All right, instead of just guessing. All right, but if your schedule doesn't allow you to do it, just whenever you can get on the game, just do it. But keep in mind the maintenance like this is much more tight early on, but as you get deeper into the season, even once you get into week 2, the the time dedicated to wait for these, you can actually have a full night's sleep without having to set an alarm in the middle of the night to upgrade this particular building. And then also you can upgrade this building as well. I got it at level 10, but I can't upgrade it any further until this building right here gets to level 35. So apparently these buildings can now get upgraded up to level 35. So in seasons 1, 2, and 3, the highest that you can do for these buildings were level 30 because 35 hasn't been introduced in your timeline yet. And as you get protected, just make sure you collect those. Again, we're going to have a separate video to talk about that. I'm going to send this electrician back to Mojo. I think I sent him to Mojo because Mojo power wasn't full yet. I want to at least help his power get to full, because you do get milestone rewards by helping teammates get their power to a high level. So I think for the most part, everybody else has their power at full, because you want to try to keep your power level full for the Blood Night event, which we're going to talk about, which is going to happen in about 16 hours. So it's going to be a lot of cool events that's going to take place. And you got these little treasures that you can find randomly throughout the map. So it's a lot of stuff to cover. But again, just want to make sure I talk about the main objectives and the overview today. But you still want to keep some of the main stuff, such as your treasure digs, your radar, your versus objectives. And anytime that you kill a Doom Elite, sometimes you'll get a random resource that'll pop throughout the map. Make sure you're collecting those, especially if it's oil or if it's any season specific related stuff. You definitely want to take advantage of those. And I think that should be it. We'll do a separate video on the Alliance Center. We've already built ours. It hasn't served its purpose just yet, but we did build that. And that was part of the things that you get from here, the Alliance Center. So, but we'll do a separate video on that because I don't want this video to go too long. But yeah, guys, what do you think? It's different graphics for sure. You got these the camels are gone for the trucks. You got regular trucks now. So yeah, you got regular trucks. They just got the light in front of them just to try to show what's in the roads. That's the only difference visually there. The monsters are different. The wanted monsters look different. You got this little weird looking leech looking thing there. So yeah. All right, guys. Well, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll talk to you later.